na nkwa na nwa no omo fo se Bible so bebre kura fo se Bible na nipa na tworoye na ukọ mawa no tia panyin to the extent say wo tene wo nsa kọbọ no a wa pa ne chewo na tokoda anyo ne neda ne da mu ho nipa ni so de opepa ne chewo obeka so ode a chewo no kọ ne da mu a ube wan kan rekura nchewo a wa bo ne ni so egu ne eyenim gwase o wa embarrass no ni ni so so fom na de ne nsa hwe ne kokko nti me na se mese aye mese ya wo anu yi e wo nya
na se ya be kwa issue bi ba na ho girls bi om ko hwe nsa gu osofo so ko bo
o yi ni na se mpa bo
abaya na
obo ne dam
no what you say ya na mo ni mo hu meti obi mo ye nyina wo ye se ye nipa but ebi mo hu meti
obi ani hu meti ni mo obi ani hu meti ni mo
I'm telling you enti sa wo hia obi na wadwen ye o se wo be show insolent akire nipa kro mu ade o kan make bia especially when onipa na ye panyin chen wo bebra ya no why you very careful because ya koda ya tupnum but obi wo ho anadwo wona dem pese me kan no
Nana ma memfa free payment and recruitment halt and not halted no I believe the kind of politics are ye ewo Ghana no eno na e lead to some of these things and see the very moment I be to abebe wie ne pe then whether ruling party and I said they are winning no and now the opposition is thinking about the next election right after an election the ruling party or the one who is coming to form government any their opposition in no obia edwini the next election enunti ebasa no a politicians as usual no kra omunka enchire Ghana for said the beya the best sell propaganda na Ghanaians enya favor in them and no be boa their fortunes for next election no and omoye the point is constitution no what aba or the number of years obi mfandi president me who constitution baby asase ye to aba we na ka wa manta ma ban ntua omo aye abanjuma ye foka ma aban ntua omo aban na ma contract ka eni constitution mu baby a enchi ni say e happiness say pe na wo say wo hu ni say the politicians and their propaganda as usual no and no more starting no enchi na wo say Ghana for ye hu ni it is like just telling a government ruling party will lose election say wo continue teacher for ntiomoka police for ntiomoka aban adwuma for in ntiomoka and it doesn't really but ekunfi ahemfa honenyu age mamunka ni dey mo ekunfi ahemfa honenyu age honenyu bache because azu wo fie oye yenya central vice president office central regional say ekunfi di wa udima yenya vice president office central regional nti azu wo fie oye
okay ntina nanti
vice president
ye tied pa ye tied pa
kwese misata na aba we
ye tied pa okay tied pa
te enter nkrata na sa step ye wo birthday a ye fa hihya so na mama fa happy birthday enfree enchuwa bo siako ba pa wo pba ho se ye mfa ma Miss Theresa Opoku a owo ehwian Miss Theresa Opoku ena ye wawoda happy birthday to you Bapa enchuwa abene enchuwa bo siako bapa ayene wo PBL ha no say me fa happy birthday emfa mawo nti Miss Theresa Opoku a wo ehwia happy birthday to you yankopon nhyira na onte nenim enkyerɛ na istekwe ni birthday yi bi de ye fancy na face so Uncle Ebo Biney emfa Ghana to say ento aso
for your my Akwa BM Oyerepa breakfast time and waso when you go so na ebra so say was say de Ghana to say ebra dwumadi so said ya ebra bia ye no na and ye be di nkomo yi pa na so usual wo Ghana to say the issues are confronting on my Ghana and they won so bone e wo man no ne empuntuo so ye na ye di ho nkomo mpanimfo a edi wo mu no ya twe wo mu na ye ni wo mu edi nkomo ne nyina ya twe ho ne ya dwene egina so say we have a role to play as a nation, especially who be a yedi to me be a shewunsa, so we say we did Juma be a bebo my Ghana, na o mino etimi akone nimono, ye nisa Ghana to send war, ye OBT Juma D as soon and ne a brasso say ye ba abedin comona, and a be a demo be funny. Pembebre noa ye na canquin she one semono, a na koye be oho, na ye na himself when it gets to certain festivity especially Yera Esmasin, Yera Easter Moon and other festivities Ghana you recognizing as a nation and I na kan kwenshia etazisi ye pa intende ye ne National Road Safety Authority in Krabata wa santimemu empenimfo ebedin komona ya hwe ye kwako rabo nyamu ya akwentu be kosuri ya ende enu nso no dodo no asusu se de kan kwenshia bebe asoya ya pa wo mu de wo mu esi ho se wo mu nhwe na wo mu nye ekwan sukuseguse ehudwumadi no enema ban eno omu ediegu akwan mu enti no me wo the planning manager planning and programs National Road Safety Authority Ashanti region Mr. Samuel Edu Jima ewo fie ha yenini ebedin komo na yahwe eye Jenny planning na say planning Jenny ehun komo na yedie Mr. Jima good morning.
Good morning.
Akwa banso.
Yeah, eja.
Yeah, anopenso ye da say ye to nsa frɛ wa wagepene say woni ye bedin ko aso ye ho te say
Onyankopɔn adom nti Ghana fo ho ye. Ne da bia meka say wo badwuma wo fa aka.
Sa pepe.
Na wo fa akwan so. Ti sa do ba fo ho. Na yen so ye tena ka ma beduri de. Na say Ghana fo ho ye. Ekwan so boko.
Fa yen fa mo ye nhwe say ye ka Jenny planning mo aso ye say mu kire mo ana mu kire mo say.
Yo. Mechia Ghana fo nyina nana otumfo penso na me bomu ase National Safety Authority Director Urakwasi Ajenim Boaten papa mechia na me nana na nanima Ghana fo do fo nyina menim se mo ho ye unions ahodo ni nyina ewi ase broni se wo ye bibi na wanye nhyehyeye a ete se de waye nhyehyeye se ade na wo mpese bisi Putokase was if you fail to plan you plan to fail ade bia wasase so bia wase wo de nhyehyeye to ho Inti yakase Jenny planning na yese afi asun yebetu kwan obi nyuma boy wase obi nkase se bi 24 ko okurum inti sa afi asun abeko okurum dia e wase wo ye ho hyehyeye nhyehyeye papa wo beye no ene be kire se wo be kwa koduru asomdwe mu ana se unkonkodu inti se yakase Jenny planning na ni tietie nyina se nhyehyeye a wo ye se be ya kwantu afi ye wie ye obetuo no Sanche papa na wo ya for kontu no ho so be akodu anopa so be du awia so be du anwumre so be di traffic so be kwa awia so be kwa anadwo woni ni pasen na ekọ wo kes ka car kra obetinam sanche kwan kra be fa so eno ho hyehye ne ye kan se e wo se so pese okodu asomdwe mu dia wo ye ho hyehye nyesa wanhwe ya se na bonni kan no onkonkodu asomdwe.
Okay, so clear enti no maye hu no se obi planning ni genia steps ben e also o take no the planning side genie no
yo edi kan ye nyina ya kan dada se asante mantem ha se anadwo akwanto ya de bia ehu enam se street lighting system no ya na ense da nimu ni nti no ena ba bi wo ho a famana no nwunu enkanka ne sa me bonusi ebedu bonya nti etatu se betumi a anka entu kwan anadwo enti e wo se sa me nhyehyɛ wi ni bi se so di campaign ebrebe na metu hwe wo de flight be kwa ba ochire eni wo Ghana ha na so betu kwan a afutu ede be ma wo ne se simuntem agi se bia no wa wadwen se wo kwa kofa plane wo airport enu mpo no se wo simu afifie no wan simuntem wan hwe traffic be chew enti se wo hyehyɛ ebrebe na be frifie ekwan ben na wo fa so akọ ekwan na wo fa so akọ no so traffic wo so ana car ben na wo tenem wo de eye private car na ekọ wa wo car ana wo fa commercial car ana ebia wo moto bia na ade kwakosi ebia parking lot na wo wi a watu akọ ana se ebia why wadwen se wadamfo bi na mafa wo nkro saroma nyina se wo nhye junction be so na befa ekwan no mo ye ekwan no egusu ekosen saa nhye we ene no ma wo se wo factor na wa anye saa nhye ne se dia menua wo ye den wo pene betu agya.
Okay. Yati ase intino say ye planning ye genia. One of the things that was a factor has to do with traffic. I say a factor traffic. Said ye be ya yem kodi traffic so. If traffic in mu ya waka set time e be to walk over speed. Okay. But the answer what planning genia we no consider sanyo mani na no. Steps ben was a would take na wutimi ede nya safety a was a winya whilst you are on the journey.
Me da se pa menua. Ye kan se hwekwan a wo fa so akọ me wa. Enti se why wadwen se wo fa wo konkran na be fa eastern region e wo se wo hu ekwan kro potia wo fa so define hwe no kwani se when define kwan no na wan hwe mra obi wa wo besimu anu afrefie me pam cho me besimu be se no nson e mo be se no mienu awiade na maduru Ghana kwan ente sa efi se Ghana kwan no wo wa ye wo hyehye no eno ade nhye ne biye den e kan ho enti e wo se wo ye nhye na wo ti kwan na wo kofa so na se so befa eastern region wo hu baby abefa afi emre ben na beje wo home she no so se Ghana ha no se wo twi card on hwere nan bia e se wo je wo home enti se wo tena wo na ufie fa se sirem mantifi na besena ko enkran eni baby aka bia na ye wo hye se aka na me betena ma betwie no ana aka e hye na me betena no me duru baby a megina na magema home se wa amfa nka ho na otwi card don hwere nan na wa anwa home don hwere wotwe wa ampon wa nukureni ye ta kofa bane se wa anhwe ya na wato Ghana mra regulation 118 of LI 2180 no eba saa so pe emra no bedi nti ye nhyehyɛ se ehe fa na megema home afi ka ben na meforo hwɛ menua esiwusi foro ye o na obi a wonye nhyehyɛ ma na kwantu bia no otafo esiwusi akweswa kodu station ho na car esi wona car utumi se wo do crash mu anye nanso wo ya wo hwɛ nya efi se why late car no timu a eku speeder wo yam hyehyɛ wo eto ne bo ase wadwo se senti driver begina uti kumbia aka so car mi ne wo esiwusi ne foro ya pa enti se wan plan wo car wo be foro na wan family bi anto so wan hwɛ esiwusi na be foro but e wo se wo yen hyehyɛ na wo car kura wo be foro car ne te sen nyese car bi akoduru edi line so na eduru so bi anti na wo foro wo mo ntanye nhye ne tafo sa trotro no wo mo nya nhye ne tafo sa baase no na mo de nhyehyɛ ya to wa konto no ho a wo be fo car papa afei car sika wo de be koro e ho hia papa eti for me enhye no so station masters na ama ya tiase na Ghana mamra ne eme tiase se enipa mienu sabio omoto enye baako obi wo ho a ye be ko akodi bonyan no one ne mma ne betu kwan akọ mu nana ho ne mma miensa onya fo car ne pe na wa hyase ofa mpacho mfa wo fa sinse woni mame ofa mpacho mfa wo fa se ona so mame da bi ofa fo ni nyina se road safety for yamma mu nyina mo ntiase se wo mo abre na etia Ghana mamra so se obi betena ka mu no obeginam ana se obetena obi na so e ba sa number of persons e wo se car ne fa no na se bi abro so akwanhye bia kosia wuti anya ya na insurance a e bo car no ho bra no na mu nyina makohwere enti e wo se wo ne wo nana wo ma no betu kwan mienu miensa omo nso form car sika
to city ma wo mo femenia awe ho se ye firi ha ye kotamare panimu no no mo matena se na kwan be gina ka ni musa kosi se ka ni be firi kumasia akodu tamare e ya na homete hwe se ye firi ha ye konkran ye koho hwe se panimu no betena se na kwan twere city bi ho obetena mu gina musa no otehwe kwa so na ye se buru e ya na awerho enti e wo se wo ye nhyehyeye e fa wo ka sika ho menua enipa ene momone ntena ka ba akum da bia me kasa asemwe wanye nhyehyeye a na otade momone betena ka nipa timu enti station master for ne abre ne wo safety for ye bon de ro se ka e fa nipa ne ye mfa banche nhyehyeye nipa nhyehyeye emum ka e long journey from Kumasi to Accra sente gina mu no obedu na onya kata wanhwe ya wonuru enu nti ye srese ye ne station master sin link mo se ye ya de no ma ne ba obi wo de no ma ne bedu percent no ma no enne no ne no ma ne nyina akọ ye traveling back enu ye de sie na so banche botto nye traveling back body botto enye traveling back ye kase mpantu kwan ne mum ye be sre ne se di kanfa ko station ho wo mo de be ma cargo car ne ye de utekita bo ho wo firi ha koduru esiremu a na wo de utekita na kwa akọje onoma Okay.
Na aye fe na ma kwantu aye de. We de wote ka ni mu wunya call o me nam kwa mu ba me ka say bia na odofo bi na fo bete sebio abo bi be hona nipa ko no che ono so beje ne fans mesere se yenya ye hyen ya ye ne sa mana ka ho no ye momodin se ye be ye hyehyeye na afi ya sesa sa no ma no na aboa ye.
Okay, enti ma yen hwe ni sei why sanchi say ni na wa plan journey no benefit e wo so say me embark on a journey na ma plan journey no so benefit ni say
Ebi ne se ukoduru ntam ejiba home ansa na dwumadi na duru ho.
okay
Emma mfifiri bɔ ne ntew.
okay
Umre wudi so kama uplan journey wudi umre so papa if say o factor no ma bebebe ehim afi uplan journey amenia etimi bua wo ma utim umi ka tente so e on tere bia plan ye journey plan na ye nyene na sa kwanto mu nhyɛ ya ye nyene nti no ye tutomi ka ye ka ne komirika se bio enhu hia wonim se ofiri ha sei wo kosunwane e kwan fifi ba bi nye enso wo plan journey na wo ye nhyɛ na on fa nka ho ento bedo bi obeteto amre mu na onya tra opese wo komirika ne sem odi traffic so a wonya tra traffic na opese wo komirika ne sem e basa na amwa enti wo se wo hyehyɛ wakwantu ni ya emre soso eboa pa afi e basa we ente wo ka no soso no eboa papa
okay
se wo komirika wo teacher break
sabe
the more wo teacher break na wo break pad na ewe wo tie no na ewe e basa wo benefit wo tenten so wo say wo fu na wo yusu wo ka mu no wo be ben bebebe dia mesrew ye hyehyɛ ye mu wakwantu no na edo ba kodu asomdwe mu
meda say OBT ena wo hwei na yenda eye ora jima ase aha na brebe ma ye kwan na ye de Ghana tesen wo dwumedie we so no na ye di ehie nti no ma memma ora jima menda na se nde ye to nsa frɛ no a obeka ye ho e wo fie ha ye de eye Ghana tesen abrem wo dwumedie ni so no planning and then programs manager National Road Safety Authority Asante region ora Samuel Edu Jima ena ye no edi nkomo Ghana tesen OBT dwuma die we so na ye twen ho aba ye ba na dwuma die a eto aso no ye de aka ho de ama don't forget say OBT ena wo hwe
Oyerepa TV, the station that makes me feel so happy. Hey,
Mom, let's buy items with Obasima logo.
Where and how did you know Obasima logo?
I watched it on TV. The Obasima logo represents foods that contain 18 essential vitamins and minerals, which the body needs to stay active and nourished all day long. These essential vitamins and minerals help the formation and maintenance of strong bones, prevent anemia, especially in pregnant women and adolescent girls, and helps boost the immune system to withstand all diseases.
Wow, what an intelligent child.
So, Akosia, what are these 18 essential vitamins and minerals?
They are vitamin A, B1, B2, B6, B12, C, K, D, E, folic acid, calcium, copper, iodine, iron, magnesium, selenium, and zinc.
This is the Obasima logo. We have lots of food products with the Obasima logo on the shelf.
Now that I know, Obasima logo will always be my shopping guide. Food with Obasima logo contains 18 essential vitamins and minerals needed for the body to stay active and strong. Choose Obasima. Stay healthy, stay strong, and live happily. This advert is FDA app.
Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, the station that makes me feel so happy.
Good morning, Ebusia, for a health and lifestyle. Ena yade ebremu anopeyi. Bididi na nama inti for mitnemu ama PSA ladi. Na anopeyi yeba bedi nkomo edi afa bidin ho. Ahweni a yade yekumade, de yade to yensa, de yade to yasene, de yade yanklets. Eni bibibia yade ahweni ye no. Kwan ya yeba fa so a yeba fa saade no mu etumi edi abo asumdwe hu dero. Of course, baby a yedro ewo man mu samre a yete hei asumdwe hu dero bo enwunya ye papa panti o se yedi sa enkomo no nti Queenie Felicity enkum join ye na afen so yedi sa enkomo no o ye beat maker and so ye fashion enthusiast on your eba fashion hu nyoma dia o ye ade pa o san ye bidding eno enkomo na ye ba bedi no anope Felicity. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're looking beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know come
just like yourself.
Thank you.
And then what's the man and then say Rebecca?
Yes, say African country be South Africa home.
South Africa.
South Africa for
I
colors.
And
I was sign narrow it down. Me who MPP colors, me who green, me who blue, me who white, me who black.
In short, maybe
and now red. And me sign who NDC colors room. Me sign one for front home. Na nti eno an komo na eba bebo efe na bibia boko de
kontom bibia boko nti bibia bi wo
aha okay nti it's how ade we mfa say ebeteki be say answer how many days are utumi the years are big
work it depends we one of students ni bi and I'm a guiding or your mommy but then it depends so one ni hwe maybe angada was na no kwana wo ya. Oh, I think a full day you should finish it.
Oh, okay.
One full day, yeah.
Okay. Do we are a day okomu sa no e kire saying e ka bibia na say wo dey ato okomu akeke.
Okay, e be chia atie for the afefo nyina na no pay. The must. Na yes, and that be komu ka o say because a life and the body be say na no pay as I say our page no wife and correct now so it carries a message. Inti dedi kan ye hwe sana odi kan kan no se bibia bi wo ma ne kre colors be 5 6 and ye dia ye ne aye ne sa kwa it represents the different kinds of people in the entire world. Okay. The nipa be brewo we are singing na say before say abrofo nipa wo we are singing na inti obi bo no nyum say different colors
one people. Okay. Different colors
ni nyina kire say ye promote peace asumdwe say wo ye broni wo ye bibini de hia asumdwe because ye twa broni sisi a moja beba me so bibini tuntumi amte ye twa me moja beba afen so say ba Africa Africa kan na wo ka South African yes Zulu omo ayini how mo design no na so ko Nigeria Ghana ha say baby obeko bia ebia de wo oba Ghana ha so ya santini oya yegbeni wo ye dendeni krobia wo so bia krabia wo se bia yina yeni pa ba ko so kala no even ye kase broni a kokko no ye kokko na otintu kokko no egumu ahodo tuntum se egumu ahodo bebre ye dedam na so and it represent different colors and representing and I fancy say a shade design na otumu say design no say ye say anwene no so wait here e be affect way so we so tia be affect way nti anwene abom te be say say and aside that no the account boom white no o shine so pa white na account boom e kan nyina
joint so white no kwate a
enti eno e na ho ma ya somdwe no ye piece no
white na ye
piece say we bibini for instance we bronia or join oni bibini no asomdwe white and e join e ti say etisi ya e be affect ni nyina be sane ate e be betima ka so na say eti aye be ye eti aye nye o be ye de na so ye ka say be take time e be mpa na hwe na bi aye yira enti ya asomdwe na ye wo no e be say e bo ho ban aha be say e bo asomdwe no ho ban it represents peace. It message carry asumdwe. It's different kinds of people. Obi from different background, different cultures. Obi in a name differently. Ni ade nyina. That is the different colors you're seeing here. That's an esi anwene no. Nyina ye ba ko. Ye nua no ba ko. Kwa bro chesi se ana o honche na kopie unua bi. O ka ato beto yem. And even abrofo na kasa mpo no. Omutumi ye mowa. O ho kochiro no. Nti nyina ye nua no ba ko. And to try to be protect your peace. Okay. eno kwan ya de yo
nti na ye fa bidding no so e dey protect your peace and say dey agba asomdwe hu de ro kwan be na e be fa so e dey bidding agba asomdwe hu de ro ma na ye
and one you just patronize the bid with the local accessories first of all shebi promote said anopa ya nwini met me the bibia for to become and I be ma jam me come sa and that is it na ye ba down asisia for narrowing down to Ghana sisia because sisia the whole world no because of the cost to Ghana and sisia ye in our own small ways no as individuals no dey empower na betima ye promote peace asomye kakra na ewo harder than no yen say no kwade na betima ye enti do mpene do na yitimi hu se dey ma mente me ho ase ana ese ya asomdwe no eye ensensam kitankitan bi ebi ye enkonkonsa gossiping or papa obetimi fa as a project as a full course in school to be studied and or study in school the only thing for ho so what the what so no akoda no obetuma tete wa ma wankasa ba bia to go home and basically obetuma ka say hey ade akwa we dia ya media me say me jama na nkata me say me jama na nka enti won jama na nka no na so wo dwene yakwa obefa so the wo ba ye de tia no enti why obibi that is right also wo dwene wankasa mpo a wo nya asomdwe unja manenka nti wonya asomdwe nti wo issues bi te say bia land issues bi obi pesa o sisi uji wade bi de den na ebia no na wodide ho ebia ye wajapade right say ode na farmer kwan so na woje wade ba niema so obi say udin din say ya obi ka say hwe din say na o ka say da for anye easy yes of course so obi say udin obi paint black obi ashada said me ka ye ode na nyesi hu se onye no hwe eso obi a ebi akasa mu ne ye mu wa ye obi bibi po hu hye danim obi a hu hye da anye no hwe but oba hye da fa ata na wa ye wa de no jama nenka nti se ye fa okon ye nyina be fa so promote peace jama nenka di minute o ye na nya wasomdwe na fa koso hwe obusua na hwe wo obi so ho hure hu hia te said time say ye wemu ana wo bobo colors na party ye bi no so akoya mawa okay yate jiwani huru hu hia obi huru obi sa na obi atamade pa o de abono I think there was a time 4 years back whatever me akasa mani ye tani na me hwa ade se nipa e nam ho no bo ho no openi wewu dada na wo de ho kwakote ye gina ho me akasa me ho bi je se be ka kire me and boys say did command in the one I say, oh, come on, you know, say, combo as I was so near. And I mean, almost getting party. I said, me a member some about ABR. And then, back about 5. So, me trying to say, it's getting I'll go on body. No, town found one and you found one, Timo found more. Now, some baby saying, I didn't boy. Now, cannot to form. I want to buy a say mouth to me, extra form, sir. Na kwa ne tofo no da ho no bia yin no na o de nkasa sam de na o de rough de he na form ho o yin no fi na o de wa say yo sa na kwa ne wu ama ye kasa yi asem we wa hu
kwa fa asem abeso wo kwa
sa na ona onam ho no wu dada
na pe bibia de
asem akwa ne nyaa no ya sam kito na be say we de obi kan ya be we de me kasa me de mani ehu enti uhuro bi na ya first year the whole year from January yankopon aye wadom ye do December wa sonson wa na yankopon abo ho ban ya ko sonson ho na end year no kama me ko pass am ho na asomdwa aye wo no because it's area I say hey bi ba ye nyina ho ye yembe hyehye yen e bi anya emba ha o na so ye gina opportunity hey bi sisi ya until says e betwa no ye nyina aye wo ha nyina ye ene asam na kosisan enti na afeti ye nyina enti asamba jama nenka e show pa say your environment wo neighbor adwumamu between wo ne wo mame wo ni wo kunu because ye kan obi anja o that kind of incident et wo ntwada enkonkose hu bi especially between ma etan hu wonam ho na wa hyehye ho krampon eye obi ya isa ne mani nyina say kan ye nya akoma na so obi ye na ye ya na no matter how difficult it is no ye the cha enkabeboa the promotion of peace because if I no chrono born e would this them na yeah obi ho e de ya obeye ye try say e to be twa de na so obi be de ewu ye de obi de ewu obi ye nden oba be bokro no na so sa ne manema we obi de ye ya ye betumi I decided say ya de be che ni pa kro no but me dey actually so next time when I'm ho na fe de wonu
yeah
something to me do baby I me quite internet sister we cry na fe de wa pa ba for whatever reason na fe de was started respectful na fe de obu onpa no be pa wo che so we hu enti etumi yesade ma we nyina eno so ye ne eboa kakra eboa ma ye nyina na on small we say we adwuma mu say ye ne ye kunu ntem ye ne enuanom ntem enuanom bebretumi ko bebre
yeah
but if you back home no be atom honka say this is the issue but then ye ka no say ya dia wontumi njem obi to the next so person to I how did na fa ni pan farmer kwan so there oh why not but yes I dia do na yes an concern ni pedi na nesimu na de no ya dia
me ntwa no ye narrow ni mbra sesi a ye ntumi nka se ye nka asem wa bra ye involve dia ewom sesi a of course en na ewom ya to abewie NDC edi nkoni MPP are any other parties no marry nti eden ya ye ka so mo nwe ho nsema ntumi enye hypocritical say ye yi enu na frem ye say ye entire shem ye dress and I did bid eti okomu no advice be na wo de be ba de na enu kwan say ye to bid ben colors be na enu kwan say ye to okomu ko a program bi and as a colors be na enu kwan say ye hye e combine the program bi
okay me that see the whole point is this say ye kan ye share ase no ye na ye enipa ba ko ye nuanom ba ko enti say na me wo party A me party a lose this year Oma lose na I mean you had high hopes nanka we be able to but lose there also party B no akoye ama ti dey be kan say o dey say dey be ya yempe because obu ho a eno wo say o party na wa win na wa hye ne kale na mo na ye ne o na ye ne ne buofu are nti na wo hye sa atade na na mani so sa wan win na mafa ate ase are na wo hye de na mani so ti mi mom die nka meka say obe ya o pesa o portrait bibia o de Ghanaian colors
okay
so be use be the accessories o de use so there party A and a party B and anya party A two parties nkwa na wo Ghana edoso use neutral accessory o pe all gold pe de men for party B ya color na party B yi nya asem say be omo ye meet na omo ye bibi na so omo say obi an shantade emra ho a fine now so opeso making opeso ohuro obi
o kwado kwa
so opeso ohuro obi onim say asem we oye party we eyi wo malusu no wa say da we twa ne fe ne nim be 10 times no we twa mu na ko no opeden na nipa na so na nipa na so abuofu na wa so na sala man get we e betuma e kakra most of the time issues get no na say wan hu emu so na how be see aso ano a eye kese ne etete hwa bo se na twetwe sekan etete hwa na ebe mu tutututu etete hwa na ene ma bebe ntino pam no twam no you can use beaded accessories fable life I dey na so nka se sia yete ho yi mum pa de a wonim se ebi mu nua a won netife ono join party bi ankoyi ama no enka wo de kire odo na nka wo de use different colors be use we no fanka ne onka sai ba men fanka ne men fanka ne time be so a wo hye ebi aya ona ko form no obi aluso a not anya abato keke bibia mu obi aluso aye ne ya nti no kire odo kakra
nya fe na ukwohye ne colors wo colors no ukwohye dia akotwuntwa ne nim akoyi ne
ebe ne ya odi ebe ne ya men ka se nipa nka sa ebe ne ya nti men nye oisa na won se ye kasa ne ye victim e ma se me na maya wade eye wo ya nti me ka che wo se fa che wo men so na ya me ya ade no at least ye so ye ho kakra wa ko ye nipa na de e na odi a che wo e bia wo e na wo de bia wo de che me de be kwa ko ye nipa foforo on fa nche me menya asem kese pa emo ho mo no mo nkoma no ntumu emo ho a asem aye kan say dey be create problems e wo okeka nkofo me no ti abom e create issues eno na mo nim ye enti victim no ye catch a victim say on try say obeka ene koma to no yem on fa nche bla 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 won so no de na wa ya fi ho jai so okeka nkofo ti bom jai say dey be create issues na include nyina obi a na makoma kwa nka at least asem de kakra baba sumje baba
Queenie yada say na we ye personal mama misa atare bia wo be hye bia na obetumi di bead eguso ana say wo certain dresses ana say ntare a ye di bead no eguso mehu say wo di black plain na wo di bead no eguso Obi betumi ahye plated assign.
Thank you so much for this question. Now come see me kwampo, I'll make sure say me dey abem ho because obi e be kwa kosha atare multicolored. Be dey go so friends say dey colors need also. Be 5 or 6. Now was kwa kosha atare colors ne be 2 3. Now the go so see dey na ye hwe.
Wetu abom.
Ain't no. Just as one morning that from January to now, discussion be very now discussing that for plain color. And it bet me I mean I'm portraying the fact say black, me black, I'm African, me black. And now black so the two what the background anyway to so and then come out. It could be white, it could be any colors now hand fire it would be
somebody say plain
good or say green
and sunny wa come to me and some and yes say come to me the reader
say yes say yellow say blue until I move back by me my family black no and it's a very good question obi be share the same thing on share ni and now there sometimes me ya no obi accessory na manipa no fe o ko to say na we say ahye na bo say na wa fa baby na wo
enye okono kra emejuma na wo ye no kra akono bia
na so be share rock na come na wani age
na efe fashion na say calculation it's a combination is a calculation
you know him na say we ne kwa asesa no oh
obi tumi share atare a flora na osan de brooch abom na acha say wo tumi atare a pleated na wasan skirt a pleated na wasan she plated
on his stress if you know stress what's my dress is very simple
na
come
happy birthday medema bechem nana wusu we bechem kwanta nifahene what's it Germany every talkies motors we are car dealer ewo Germany osi emfa happy birthday emfa ma nana wusu bechem nifahene wo Germany Bremen every talkies oya car dealer talkies motors oya car dealer no osi emfa happy birthday emma nana yankopon hiraw no ma won kwatenten a ahodin ewom anopai ene Queen's Felicity enkum ena edi enkomo ewo health and lifestyle so metinemu edema piesie ladi ha ena ebremama kwan ma yedi esi Akua Asieduaa ye krado or the OBT agenda ebetwa so adamu ase amomunu hwa ache
TV, Oyerepa TV, the station that makes me feel so happy. Hey, Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, the number.
Yama moche abusuafo yama makwaba ebio yede no ebe hihye so na sede yedi nkan ate ho de akere mo no ene kwesi paka wosen ene orefred blay di din no osimewu eka ho woni na kodi nkomo bedron hwere ba ko bi ama yedi Ghana politics ene governance amemo ene sede ho hihye yete wo man no emu yewra Fred Blay aka nsem ne bebre ma wa kyerkyere wo kyerɛ sɛ Russia ne Ukraine war wuntimi nyi free Ghana ho kyerɛ a yɛkɔ mustika semo saa na covid nso nsɛm da so agyinam sɛ no ka ho ne ma ho kyerɛ bae nanso nyame adom nti ɛna economy no bounce back said the president a ɔkɔ na na adodan kwaku ɛkan so nipa wu a yɛntumi nkɔfa ne mma bio ne mmom economy ne sɛe a yɛbɔ yɛ homɔden kakra ebetimi ama naba no ɛne yɛyɛ aduru hɔ yɛra Fred Blay ne kwesi di nkɔmɔ na nsa na yɛde nkɔmɔ ne mu nsɛm beba no yɛkan mu sɛ DK events so the legacy night with Amachi Dede ni din no abrante eka ho na ekura de wasan di hininti nana enso ka ho bi na artist a ebebo yura Amachi Dede chidom eye nyame ya adom a 29th December bro nyame menda no bro nyane besi ukuada ne ya wo fie ade echi memenda a eye 29th December ewo Micklin Hotel a ewo Kumase efiri no nsia till mommy calls you shane nso say ticket no say de ebo no ekoniye 300 cedis eno ye regular no VIP eye 400 cedis ena kopo mu na mienu a eno so ye 500 cedis na upesa wo to online ticket no a ube dial wo phone ni so *713 *33 *20 hash misi subio *713 *33 *20 hash na wedo ticket ne ho enkomo upe reservation so pese reserve bi ma wa for 0550 799 375 0550 799 375 and 0599 913 555 0599 913 555 ubenye biato ewo poku trading front desk Oyerepa TV no Oyerepa FM ha uba Amachi Dede ticket ne bi wa ha ukọ Anwulaga Junction Total Filling Station wa benye bi Ebu Akwa Shell Filling Station ubenye bi Supermarket and a Bronze Lounge ewo patase eno so kwa benye bi Supermarket Restaurant ne Uptown Foods ukwa ubenye bi Ohio Lounge any Supermarket Restaurant Vegas Lounge aye opposite Saks Pharmacy ewo patase ubenye bi ena Downtown Golden Tree Opaki Collections wa mekom ubenye bi SG Mall Sompa FM ena Micklin Hotel wa places aya buboi ukona Amachi Dede ticket ni bia ukwa ye de boni nyina ebema wo na artist ebe support Amachi Dede kwabena akose Japan oforiam ponsa kofinti ena Stone Boy ebeye kekim memeba bi nti wo so duru hɔ a na wama ye hia Big Park Hotel so wedi 5 years Big Park Hotel ba ye 5 years pepepe nie ono so hye ho fa sonko na one sa akode ne Mr Drew ena ehye fen eye ya wada bronya dano ade chie 26 December no a eno ticket ne ye 300 cedis sa akode obede mpombede ne Dr Mr Drew ena eba eno so ticket reservation no one man ye table 6 people on a table ebeko for 4,500 timoye na mfunum nsia mutimi group mu na magigi musika na makogi one table 4,500 ya na eye since mo beto ticket no baako no kate down ebo no na mogi one table nso aye serve mo nsa ene nneoma hodo bi ya ebema moni aka table ne ho enu ye 6 people on the table na 4 people on the table ne nso 4,000 cedis 4 people on the table 4,000 cedis side attraction no e be your prizes ahodo aye de bema mo Christmas promotion basis na wo mo ebeye hyene nso opeso reserve tables ni bia 0543 636065 0543 636065 and 0246 408180 0246 40 81 80 na hyene nso se obi a woman so nkariye Ebu Akwa ene mro no atwa ho ahia e wa twoma ne mpotem ho no hyene so se Big Park Hotel at 5 yi unyi ho mfiri bronya ne hwa na yekodi no Big Park Hotel e wo manso mpatuam o manso mpatuam na 26 December na edi emfie enum 7 p.m. till you drop anajo 7 ekusi se wa obebre na afi ubeko fie enti enso ya mo nhye ne so Unilever say what the Pepsodent cavity fighter toothpaste aba ya no an obi eto bi twi ne se no an ye di clean ye num kikiri clean ye tekrema so ene ye gam ne so ebedi ni a Pepsodent cavity fighter ubenye bia to supermarket bia mu na emofra yusu ene ye wo mpanyimfo nso de ye wo ho hyane nso se Pepsodent de e ba ya ache di yakagine mo ache na nye ne no obegdan na chi de amaye upe bi ato a uko supermarket bia mu a ubetimi anya bi ato sara nso na toll free number no eno nso betimi adial 0800 2030 0800 2030 Bosheba Electric House nkaniapa ene ho niema nyina wakofa de abedwa so a oton de amadensifo ene afiewura nom Bosheba o chandelier corner light o gate light o ceiling light o LED light flood light camera ceiling fans ahodo bedside lamp sports light wall light garden light light ahodo ni nyina ne wires ni nyina Bosheba eton papa a ne bo ewo fom bra edum Bosheba Plaza efia ya no Oyerepa TV no Oyerepa FM ewo opa no wafre 0322030838 and 0541 125 eso said the edi kan mu edi ehun nkoma dada no kwesi pakawo sen ene owura Freddy Blay akodi nkomo na ye kire nsem ne bi egu ahoma so ye nkohwe mra ye ba paka won kran ene okọ Accra International Conference Center ho na said the parliament reconvene ene anopai no any businesses ahodo adapo no so a omo ekọwewe ho no mkodi ho nkomo no atmosphere ne said etie no ye bechi ni nyina e de afri nkran e de aba ansa na no de eba an interview with Mr. Freddy Blay, former MPP national chairman. Yeko aba yenko hwemra.
Freddy Blay is a former national chairman of the governing NPP and also the board chair of GNPC. Now, we are here today to appreciate the outcome of the humiliating defeat of the NPP in the 2024 election, for the just ended election. What may have accounted for their hefty loss at the polls and possibly what could be the future of the party. But then again, the post-election violence, he's been dragged into it because of some comment he might have made in the past. We'll get into that this morning. Chairman, thank you so much for your time.
Very good morning, Baka.
Chairman, your party has suffered a very hefty blow at the polls.
You describe it as humiliating.
Exactly.
Defeat.
Exactly.
That's your description.
But you agree it's a humiliating defeat.
Well,
but it's the first time the MPP has lost this magnitude in an election.
I will not run away from it. That it is a defeat. Mm-hmm. It's a heavy loss. We never expected it, particularly the extent of it. But it has happened. The people have spoken. We live by it.
You live by it.
Why not?
Did you see it coming? Did you see your loss coming?
Why? We were convinced we were going to win. We were convinced that Nana Akua Asieduaa, President of the Republic of Ghana, had done well with his NPP government, with his cabinet, with his appointees. We think that defeat that you have described as humiliating. I think we didn't expect that to happen the way it did. We are still coming to terms with that.
Oh, you are still coming to terms with your defeat?
Coming to terms with it.
I see.
We are discussing, we are looking into it in retrospection. We are discussing what happened, and we will definitely live by it, as I did say so.
I mean, Chairman, you managed
part
to
of
win.
Our history.
Right. You managed to win 2 successful elections with the NPP as the chairman of the party.
That was a teamwork.
Right.
And the leadership of Nana Akua Asieduaa.
So what may have accounted for this heavy loss in this election? From where you say, what could have been the reason?
As it is, we've been in government for the past 8 years, if you like. And we've gone through some crisis or the other. I'm talking about what we always talk of, and we get people tend to ignore conveniently, that the COVID was a factor.
So COVID was the reason you lost?
It's not the reason, it was a factor.
It's one of the reasons that may have accounted to your loss.
Yes, it's accounted. The Ukraine, the start of the Ukraine-Russian war, and all that go with it.
Has played a role in your defeat. Is that the argument you're making?
Let me finish. Right. Parker. And please listen to me.
I'm listening, Chairman.
It's led to economic crisis that we had faced in this country. It led to a GDP diving to less than 2%. It led to several crises that the world was facing, which we were part of. It affected the management and husbandry of the economy. It did. To the extent that we did hold on, try to ensure that we didn't lose too many lives under the COVID. We did also try to ensure that prices hike in oil and related products could not dislocate the economy to a great extent. We couldn't succeed that much until after COVID. Now, as I talk to you, we had gone to the IMF for some structural reforms. And we picked up the pieces and we're growing. You could see that from 2% now, as I talk to you now. The Statistical Service Department had come out to say that the economy, it's not me or you who are saying it.
Of course, the books.
7.2%
growth.
That is pre-COVID times. It means we didn't mismanage the economy. Factors that we could not control. Now that even though the Ukraine-Russian war still continuing, we've adapted, we've adjusted, and we have picked up in terms of growth to the extent that we've hit 7.2. I thought it was to be 6.9, but 7.2 and still going up. It means that the economy was not mismanaged. It means there were other factors which people refused to accept. But whatever it is, this is after the fact. What has happened?
It's already happened.
It has happened. The polls have gone on, and Ghanaians have said that no, they don't agree, and that they have indicated, our own people particularly, did not even go to vote. We will say.
Are you shocked? Are you surprised that your own people didn't go and vote?
Well, of course it's surprising, because we had thought that even our own membership and supporters will appreciate that these were the challenges we were going through. But be it as it may, it has happened. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
We live in by it. And it's only the future that will tell.
I see. But just for clarity, as you you give a sequence of the Russian invasion to Ukraine, the COVID-19, which cascaded into the economic crisis that we were in. Of course, we are still gradually coming out of the economic crisis.
Yes.
So, for clarity, would you say it played a role in the defeat of the NPP in this election?
Definitely impacted on the economy. And as I said, particularly the COVID was a big factor which people have ignored. And the Ukraine-Russian war also played a part in the crisis that have visited the whole world in terms of petroleum prices and coal. To the extent that it's impacted on our CD, dollar, exchange rate, and people had exploited it and made it look like as if it was a mismanagement, and it was because we were involved with, particularly our presidential candidate involved with telling lies and so forth and so on. It has happened. And as I said, even as we talk now, the city was going as I said
gradually stabilizing,
not
gaining strength.
Gaining strength.
Right, gradually gaining strength.
As against other currencies. But be it as it may, this is post facto analysis that we want to make. Of course, you have asked me what might have led to what these are some of the factors. And then, of course, Ghanaians also have their own.
John, some say that your party members were arrogant, your ministers were super arrogant. In fact, the president did not listen to members of parliament. And if MPP has lost this election, we need to put the president on the blame board for the hefty loss at the polls. You agree?
Success have many fathers. Failure is an offer. And that's what leadership is all about. And people will always find reason for scapegoatism.
But it's a fact. I mean, they make the point that the president looked on. No, I mean, the president looked on for Ken Ofurata to misbehave in his government.
You are expressing an opinion.
The vice president was not given the opportunity to function.
You are expressing an opinion that some of our members were arrogant. I'm even surprised at that.
You're surprised at that?
It's typical of some sections of the Ghanaian public to be resentful.
But I'm quoting from Andy Apiakubi. He's a member of parliament. And also your party member.
Let me say, you don't use an opinion of an individual. So he himself lost his election.
Of course, he did. Yeah,
does it mean that he was also arrogant? Does it mean that he didn't listen to what members of his party or executive in the constituency were telling him?
He claims that it was state-sponsored. People engineered his loss at the constituency level. That is the allegation he's making.
If you could engineer the loss of a constituency, why couldn't we engineer the winning of most of our losses in the constituency? Let's forget it. Don't particularize it and don't personalize it.
So you don't believe what Apiakubi said?
I disagree with him.
You disagree with him?
Please let me land. I disagree with him. I'm saying you accused us of arrogance. I say I deny that.
You deny that your ministers were arrogant?
Not at all. I haven't. Point out one which you say was arrogant. Point out one. Don't just make blanket statements about your ministers, your members of government were arrogant. If you've decided not to vote out of resentment, and this sometimes is typical of some sections of the Ghanaian electorate, and not only Ghanaian, but voters in an election. It has happened.
I see.
What I'm saying is that in terms of handling the economy, we did not do badly. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government was good. It was a performing government. Some of his policies might not have gone on well with the subsections of the society. But be it as it may, the result proves that it was not a question of his management. Of course, it hit some sections of the society quite hard in terms of some policies that we had to, unfortunately, in bitterness, had to adopt. It's unfortunate. Because if this country grows well, if the economy is doing well, it affects all of it, not just a session. So for people to now come out say that we had to vote against the government because some sessions of the government, some individuals in the government were arrogant, were super arrogant, and so forth. It's our opinion.
It's our opinion.
Opinion that I disagree with, that some want to accept it as it were. But let's not look back.
But how about the allegations that claims that?
Into the future.
So we'll look into the future. We'll look into the future. But the allegation and accusation that Gabi Asieduaa, Bedi Tio, Ken Ofurata, these were men who were not voted for, but yet they were the ones handling almost everything. At the point, according to Eugene Boakye, who is a member of parliament from Eugene Boakye, who is a member of parliament from your stock, made the argument that Dr. Mahmoud Bamia was paralyzed. He wasn't given the opportunity to function. You have been there before. Was Bamia given the opportunity to function?
There you go again.
Right.
You personalize it.
But I'm making a direct. I'm asking a direct question.
Well, you have asked the question.
Right.
Let me.
Was Bamia given the
please,
opportunity
please,
to function?
Please, you've asked the question.
Right.
You don't expect me to say yes or no. You ask your
but
question.
You've been there before.
Please,
you've been the chairman of the party.
I'm saying
you know better than
you
this.
ask your question.
Right.
Give me the privilege of also answering.
Chairman, I'm listening to you, sir.
And don't force it down my throat.
Right, I'm listening.
You say you mentioned individual names. Gabriel Childako.
Exactly.
Ken Oforiatta. It's unfortunate that Ghanaians wants to personalize these issues. You don't know how the format of government, the structure of governments, and how we function. These people that you mentioned, apart from Ken Oforiatta, who was finance minister and member of the cabinet, the other person was a secretary.
Yeah, executive secretary.
Of the presidency. Gabi was not part of government. And yet, some people want to believe, or they wanted to believe, and continue to believe that he was making decisions for the president.
He wasn't making decisions for the presidency?
Definitely he wasn't.
He wasn't making an appointment for the presidency?
Please, let me finish. I'm saying, so far as I'm concerned, so far as I know, that was not the case.
That was not the case?
The president was making his own decisions, was making his own appointment, which in accordance with the powers given under the Constitution.
I see.
For anybody to sit aside and make blanket accusations, accuse the presidency of having given out his discretionary powers, his own decisions to some individual outside government or somebody down the ladder of government. I think it's insulting.
It's insulting to the president?
Definitely. Don't say so. President will rely on advice, and whatever it is, as I said, the result of what he's been doing prove a point. Was he managing or mismanaging the economy?
I see.
And I'm saying that in spite of all that he has done, in spite of infrastructure that he had backed up, in spite of efforts he had put in, and even against the trend of economic difficulties the world had faced and this country had faced, the results show that he did very well. So, if you say in spite of that, if you say that it is because of arrogance, if you come out to tell me that some people are saying it is because the president relegated or delegated his own decision-making power to some other people, and they were making them say, if they did, the result of what he did, the decision that he took, what we see in the management of the economy.
I see.
Not if he did so and things went bad. Would you blame him or would you blame those who took the decision? So I'm saying whatever he did, the result are clear. He had done his 8 years, and what he did, I will raise my heart upon that he did well.
Right. So, Chairman, I'm asking
stand by that anytime,
I see.
any day.
And I'm directing a direct question to you. Was the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, given the opportunity to function on a parade as the chairman of the economic management team? Was he given the opportunity?
Parker,
yes,
you've asked me this question. I wish I had not even reacted, but for the benefit of your audience and those who are watching us.
It's a direct question to you, sir.
Some people don't even know what the economic management team was all about. It was advisory.
Right.
It had no authority to make any decision. All what the cabinet did was, if any decision was going to be taken, it needs to be considered. Then if it has to do with the economy, it is given to the committee, the particular minister, and whose ministry
the policies emanating from,
that will come and defend it before the committee. And based on that, the advice is given to cabinet. Cabinet takes the decision. It's not the economic management team that takes that decision. And whatever it is, it's debated at cabinet and adopted or rejected. And that's what was happening. For anybody to think that economic management could work magic or could take any decision, final decision, and go. Let's appreciate what happens, or does not know.
So Bamia was given the opportunity to operate as the vice president.
Why not? Under the constitution, he was doing his duties, functions. Anything that specifically was given to him, he did it, he performed it, and to the satisfaction of the president, and of course, with the cabinet. He himself had to come and defend, or together with any minister, or any ministry that he was supposed to work with, or any department, or any agency. He did it. And specifically, we all were satisfied with it. We may not know how the government functions, and therefore will come to some conclusion merely because an election has been lost. But as
what kind of threats are listening to that advice?
When the tide is down, so when the dust settled, we will appreciate some of the things that you are talking about and what went on. And then, of course, we can't reverse the decision that we've taken now.
So as far as you are concerned,
we will know.
Right. So, Chairman,
there was nothing that went.
So as far as you are concerned, Dr. Mahmoud Bamia was not undermined at any point in time.
I think to suggest that it's only divisive, it's only to throw some kind of confusion in our midst that the vice presidency was given a certain special powers or had some function. However, he was not allowed to do so because of he was being undermined by the presidency or some ministers. That was not the case.
That was not the case.
That was not the case, so far as I'm concerned. And he had not complained himself. So if you are speculating and making your own deductions out of where you got your facts from, I wouldn't know. But definitely, that's not the case.
These facts are coming from your stock, members of your stock. That is why I'm making
some people from our stock or from your stock, from the media, from anywhere, sometimes maybe speculative, baseless, and yet some of you believe that. And you carry that throughout your coverage and your analysis of what was happening until now. But as I said, there is perception and reality. Sometimes it's very difficult to draw the line. Some mix it together and cast their votes. We have to live with that. I continue to say that. We have to live with that, and we are living.
And you are living with that. And finally, on the law, some say that it was obvious the NPP had a bad candidate. Reason you lost the election. Dr. Mahmoud Bamia was not a good candidate for you. If you look at the trend, if you look at the voting pattern, you begin to appreciate that Muslims and Northerners did not even vote for him. So it's a bad choice that the NPP made.
I disagree with you. I think it's unfortunate that even you, from the fourth estate, knowledgeable as I presume you are, you will also swallow some of such bad propaganda.
No, I mean, it's a question to you.
Please.
If you check the data.
I say what data are you talking about?
The Northerners. I mean, they didn't vote for the MPP.
No, listen.
Muslim.
Which party in this country voted for our candidate? Maybe except our stronghold, in Ashanti. Even then, the vote was, in terms of the turnout, was very low. And even in Ashanti, for the first time, we've lost quite a number of,
parliamentary seats.
It is happening.
No, but judging from the fact that Bamia hails from the north,
to me, listen.
And
please,
even in his own home region.
I say you ask a question. You are talking to your audience, and you are asking me questions. You give me the opportunity to react to you made very serious allegations. I won't say allegations, but you are making some points which are very weighty, and I need to have time to react to that. You talked about that we had a bad candidate. I'm saying he was a very good candidate, so far as I'm concerned. And the way we did it was not imposed. We have gone to primaries, and he came out top. Won over first time, won over 60%, 65%.
True.
And then we put him up. As I said, it was unfortunate that the turnout was low. Besides that, Ghanaians had then, as I said, maybe they had voted since 2020, after the COVID or during COVID. They made up their decisions and it was carried on to 2020, 23 or 24. But be it as it may, we are not crying over spoiled milk.
Right.
But for anybody to try to divide our ranks and based on religion, based on ethnicity and regionalism and co, that is unfortunate. Don't encourage that. And I plead with you to use your medium not to make such speculation. It's not helpful. Not helpful not only to our party, but it's not helpful to this country and its development. Bawumia was a good candidate. We offered him. Maybe the voters stand differently. Over time, we shall see whether what he was suggesting, how he wanted to manage the economy, what he could do to help so that we grow faster and improve the quality of life for people of this country. Other people thought different.
But if
whatever it is, it made their verdict. Let's leave it there.
But if you think that, I mean, the MPP performed better, Bawumia was a good candidate, and you still lost this massively, isn't that surprising? Isn't that shocking?
It's surprising, yes.
I mean,
for shocking, I don't want to go to that extent. But I've lived a little longer.
Right.
So, I've seen countries where their government may be doing well, where the policies that they come out with will turn out to harm. And yet sometimes the Moses effect takes place. What do I mean by Moses effect? When Moses was carrying people from Egypt to what they consider to a promised land, the people is leading sometimes get very angry. Sometimes they even want to throw him into a desert and kill him. Because they said that even when we were in captivity, we were being fed well, and you have taken us to which promised land? And they got angry. He himself have not have seen it. But looking back, they realized that he led them to whatever the promised land was. Politics sometimes frustrating for those who offer themselves to be leadership. Those who think that they want to do good for their own country and for their communities, for their society. Sometimes it's misinterpreted. Sometimes people misread it. Sometimes people look, but it's happened in the history of this country.
So Bawumia was going to take us to the promised land, and Ghanaians...
I was convinced beyond doubt.
And Ghanaians have rejected it.
Ghanaians have rejected it.
So Ghanaians looking back would regret rejecting Bawumia at the polls?
That is the beauty of democracy. We propose. And then they dispose.
I see.
So what has happened, as I said, we should live by it.
So what Ghanaians regret the decision they've made by rejecting Bawumia at the polls, judging from your experience and knowing who Bawumia is.
The future will tell.
The future will tell.
Even then, let's even, whatever it is in this country at one point in time, also voted against John Mahama.
Right.
He did.
Now he said, come back. He's made history.
He's made history. He's come back.
Yeah.
So if you say that people have rejected, Bawumia have rejected the MPP in whatever terms that you may describe it, they've done so before. So that's the beauty of politics. The only thing I would pray that our party remain focused, calm. We shouldn't be frustrated. We shouldn't, out of frustration, make very harsh decisions and so forth. We will see the light of the day.
Talking about harsh decisions, already there are some agitations within the ranks of the party, making the point that Bawumia has suffered the highest level of defeat as far as the APP is concerned. And so looking forward and going forward into the future, Bawumia should be kicked out, shouldn't be given the opportunity to lead the party again.
As I said,
do you think Bawumia should be given an opportunity?
Don't be, what is it? The medium, the sorcerer the predictor of doomsday for our party.
Not doomsday. I mean, Akufo lost election though, but he lost 49%.
No,
again, he lost around 48%.
It doesn't matter.
Bamia is losing, has lost with 41%.
The first time that
is huge.
I do remember that we were in Parliament in 1997. That's after 1996.
Right.
The same by elections. Out of 200 seats, we had only 65. By the next elections, we were in majority.
Right.
Politics is tense. It's up and down. I'm hoping that this is not the end of the road. We will rise up.
Yeah, you will rise up again, I agree. But with who? With which leader? Is it Dr. Ahmed Bawumia or a different candidate?
Our party will
Because some say that they should put him aside.
Listen, I'm saying our party will decide with whom we will go to election.
Will you place your bet on Bawumia in case you are going for another primary? Will you place your bet on Bawumia?
Definitely, I will do so. But as I said, it is our party who will decide. Definitely, I will so. I have confidence in him. I was convinced this will be a good opportunity for this country to move on with him as a leader. If the people in this country say no, we live by that.
I see.
And the time will tell.
Time will tell.
The future is yet unforeseen. But I hope, looking at the facts on the ground, looking at the realities of whatever, maybe the perception that the way we see it may be different from what other people see it.
Time will tell. I'm having a conversation with the former national chairman of the governing NPP, Freddie Blair, and he's very convinced in his mind that the NPP, in fact, did a yeoman's job the last 8 years. The president worked, but he is a bit surprised that Ghanaians rejected the NPP at the polls. Time will tell. He's still convinced and confident that Dr. Ahmed Bawumia is the right man to lead the NPP going forward. On any day, he will place his bets on Dr. Ahmed Bawumia because he believes he carries the vision. Now, Chairman, I'm away from that. Let me just finally then we'll move on. We'll get into the post-election violence, which I'll play a video for you to watch. Then we'll get a response from the chairman. Now, your running mate. I know that, and we've been told that he was selected to galvanize the base of the NPP in the Ashanti region. Yet the Ashantis voted massively against the NPP. Would you say that your running mate did not add value to the ticket of Dr. Ahmed Bawumia?
The Ashantis didn't vote massively against NPP.
Abstaining from the vote.
Quite a number.
Abstaining from the vote.
Please.
Right.
Percentage abstained from the vote.
Exactly.
That a fact.
If you don't vote, exactly voting against the NPP.
You mentioned that Ashanti overwhelmingly voted against. It's not the case. Fact. Now, what do you say about Dr. Napo?
You're running there. Supposed to galvanize the base and get you the numbers, the hard numbers on the ground.
He will galvanize the base, and they did everything that he could to ensure that the base is galvanized. He's an achiever. He works hard. He may be sometimes very, very undiplomatic sometimes, but he was a good party young man. Dealing with his party people, he was forthright with them. He was helpful to them, particularly those in the Ashanti people who never dealt with him. They will give evidence to show that they had confidence in him. And we were convinced where our base is, we should put up somebody that the ordinary people have confidence in. And that's what we did.
And that's what you did. You didn't get the benefit. You didn't get the
question is that, where did we get any benefit? We lost an election.
But for Ashanti region,
no, Ashanti region, no.
So at least you expect that you get it from there.
Ashanti reflects whatever Ghana is. That's the beauty. That's my admiration for the Ashanti region. Ashanti region wouldn't vote 90% because somebody hails from us or because we belong to this party. It's based on performance, it's based on their perception, it's based on several other factors. So when the Ashanti region speaks, we respect that. And we will live by what they say.
Some say you need to apologize to the Ashanti region for neglecting them in terms of development. You promised them 5 interchanges.
This government did not discriminate in terms of sharing the benefits of the state. And now the Akua Asieduaa's government they took infrastructure development in various places.
You promised Ashanti 5 interchanges. They haven't even delivered one.
We did not have sufficient funds to do it across board to the extent of satisfaction of the people. But whatever I did, under the circumstances, COVID, Ukraine, Russia war, and many other factors, I believe that Nana Dankwa's government did very well, performed well. The results were good of what they did. Maybe not to the satisfaction of the whole country.
But Ashanti Region is your base, Chairman. You need to pay attention to your
comparison.
But your base is Ashanti Region, Chairman.
No, it doesn't mean that you could have spent all the resources of
not all the, but at least their needs must be met halfway. You didn't meet their needs halfway. No, when you talk to the people
as
there.
I said, the expectation could have been high. But whatever it is, with the resources and under the circumstances, and now the Akua Asieduaa did well. To the satisfaction, to some satisfaction of Ashanti region. Maybe it was not what people will have fully been satisfied or to the extent of their expectation. But whatever it is, under the circumstances, Akua performed wonderfully well.
I see. Let's play this video quickly because I'm sure most of you have seen the post-election violence. Some alleged NDC supporters storming state agencies, dragging people out of the office and all of that. So let's watch this video. When we are done, I'll get some reaction from Chairman.
Since Monday particularly, supporters of the MPP besieging a number of offices of state institutions, demanding that the officials there, political appointees mainly, vacate their offices. We've seen some near violence and all that. Your thoughts on this matter?
Well, I'm not too sure specifically what you want to refer to, but there have been instances where it's not an issue of people going to public offices and state institutions to drive out people and take over. No. In some cases, particularly at places like the Harbour, DVLA, Peduasi Lodge, polling booths and so forth. In some cases the people have to go there to protect state property, to ensure that looting stops. I've been told that in some public offices and so forth, all of a sudden those who are working there have refused to come to work. Not because they have been intimidated or been chased out, but they themselves have suspected that maybe because how they came there was purely based on them being members of the party then in power. Maybe some people chase them out, then they've left those public places are just to the wind, just to the weather. And people have gone there to go and protect it. Some of our members have gone there to go and protect it.
I know that the party and a number of top officials of the MPP have condemned these acts. But beyond the condemnation, what will the party do? Because it seems that's not working.
Well, it's not a question of condemnation. I've told you that it's not some instances I won't condemn. If they were there to protect property, assets.
How do they protect property? They are not security officials.
Look, at the Harbour, people are stealing cars. People are carrying away items that should attract duties and so forth. Containers being taken away without going through the right processes and so forth. I think we should be bold enough to say that stop what you are doing.
But it is not the duty of MPP supporters to go around and enforce law and order. In that regard, it's the duty of the police. You are in power now. Your party is in power now. Just notify the police and they'll deal with it, Mr. Biney.
Let me make a point. It is your duty, my duty, to stop anybody stealing even an individual's property. If you can, you have good reason to know that what the person is doing amounts to stealing.
But we have appropriate institutions. I agree. We have appropriate institutions.
No, I'm saying that if
that can do that job as well.
Cars from the harbour, taking them away. Are you suggesting that we should wait and go and call the police before they come and stop?
You think the party supporters are better placed to handle this than the police? It's not
a question of they are better placed, that they will stop them and then refer the matter to the police subsequently. Please, let's understand that.
Is that the way to go?
No, please. There are instances where they were right. There are instances that I will not endorse that. I will consider their conduct not the
What
best.
instances were they wrong?
Instances where they will go and lock up, let's say, a public institution or a government offices and so forth. If some of these things have happened, which you are telling me might have happened, I will not endorse it. I will not support it. But I've given you examples that in some cases it's to protect property, state property. If you go to Peduase and people are stealing louvers, people are removing air conditioners and so forth, and you are a Ghanaian and you know that that is wrong, and you can't immediately get to the police, you stop them. Then why are you doing that? If I do that, you are telling me that we shouldn't.
Now, Chairman, some say what's happening now may be a revenge, because 2016, when you won the election, I'm talking about the MPP, your people did a similar thing like that. And you, as I've played in the interview, you justified it. You encouraged it. In fact, you use words like people are protecting the state's property so that people they will not steal them. I mean, so they are also doing the same thing. And do you have a cause to complain?
I think it should be intellectually honest.
Right.
Particularly, you are coming from the media. You've watched the clip that you showed.
Right.
That people are even using to justify what is happening now. If you read it well and you listened to my voice, we condemned what was happening. You see, except in an instance where I have mentioned that at the harbour, where containers were being taken away, cars which had not gone through custom duties and so forth to be paid, and people are driving them away, and people have quit their posts. That, I said, is every citizen needed to, if you find yourself there, to protect it, because that's what revenue depends on. Some went to Peduase and were carrying away furniture.
Right.
Who have gone to Peduase and were carrying away furniture, removing air conditioners, louvers, and carrying them on their head away.
I see.
So that needed to be protected, stop them from doing it. This is where I mentioned that it should be stopped. But as against what is happening now.
So the circumstances are different.
Extremely different. People are going away to carry on their heads rice. They are going fertilizers. They are going to even individual stores to carry away fridges and co. And then you are saying that is the same circumstance. I did say that if people are going to loot and co, the police should take action against them. That's what I said. I never said that people should go and loot. I never said that.
So you didn't endorse the violence that happened.
Definitely, I didn't.
You're only encouraging that people should protect their property when they need
the
be.
police, they should have when they need be. People who now turn it to make it look like as if
but if you say that, you are giving them the power to misbehave.
No.
When we have law enforcers, which is the Ghana Police Service, they are the ones to mandated to protect public state.
In the interview, I was asked about that. I say yes, the citizens are supposed to support them. In places where its law had broken down, where individuals had gone there to loot and go, stop it. We condemn it. We disassociate our government from that. And the police should do their duty. In these cases, people with guns, people arm themselves to the teeth, and going to even transport yards to go and as it were cut buses. Cut buses and carry them away in pieces, in parts. Brand new buses, carry them in pieces. What are you doing?
I see.
That's wrong. You go to offices and you say, no, people should not come there. There are people you want to yourself remove from the office and send away. That is wrong. At that time, I will admit, I will concede that there were instances where were tolls, toll booths and co. A few people wanted to go and get rid of people from bandit. We said that they should stop it. It's not the attitude to do so. But except that places where people who were going away were carrying the what is it? Producers like that, they were carrying away furniture, state furniture. They were carrying away air conditioners, louvers, louver blades, away to their houses because there was a change of government. I think that should be stopped. Either from those who have even come to power or those who are living power. We shouldn't do that.
So it would be unfair to you when somebody said that your comment 8 years ago has emboldened the current administration.
It's intellectually dishonest. And particularly when the media people and communicators from the NDC will say so. I never endorsed that. Me as a lawyer, I wouldn't say that law has broken down because we have won an election, and I'll ask supporters of my people of my party or members of my party, go and loot, go and bring, take guns and go and carry away fertilizers and everything else that you can lay on, even from individual stores and go. People had to lock their stores up. Why? That's two different scenarios. And for people to equate that and make it into equalization, they did it and we are doing it. That's very different circumstances. And never have I endorsed that kind of behavior or conduct.
So what do you expect from the police now? Because
to do their duty.
I mean, things have...
They're able to protect life, limb and property. For them to make it look like as if they've stand aside and that life had, government has broken down or because of a change. We have not undertaken a coup. I understand it's in some people's DNA that it's a good opportunity for them to come and misbehave. But that should not be. It's a change of government. Yes, 7 January, Baton is handed over to another government. Let's all give it support. Let them wish them well. If the economy of this country improves for all of us, if this turn out well, it doesn't even mean that it's automatically that the government of the day will be maintained, because we are convinced we're doing well, and yet we've been put that out. So let's see if this country improves. It improves for all of us. But however, law and order should be maintained by police enforcers, by law enforcers, by the citizen. Life continues.
I see. Life continues. Now, let me just ask these 2 quick questions and wrap up this morning. So, talking about the incoming government, is it your fear, and it was one of your campaign messages, protect free SHS. Is it your fear that the free SHS may be tempered away?
The future will tell. Of course, I've heard somebody like Tetepe. I say sometimes I consider whatever he says naive. Sometimes, but he's in his naivety, he talks the truth.
I see.
He admits what is right, and I bet what I say is political naivety. But he has come out. They sell it that early. He said they should review it. He expressed his opinion. He was a minister for economic
finance.
Finance minister. He says that it should be limited to day students. That's an opinion from their mess.
Do you think it was a good call?
Why? I'm saying that is according to what they believe in. And I want to see if it could be implemented. I wish it wouldn't be, but if they decide to implement it. I think that's what Ghanaians
But
deserve.
some of your colleagues too, I mean, former ministers had mentioned, Mustafa Hamid had mentioned that they need to do a review. Even the former finance minister, Kenneth Rata, had also mentioned about a review.
That was
where
for the government policy.
People well to do, like you, your children will be paid, will pay the school fees.
Excuse me. Don't make it look like people well to do and you point me out. That's why some people That's why some people will be out of resentment and go may misbehave towards us individually. But that's not the case. We try to be resourceful. We try to work hard so that
So I'm making the point that in the past, government officials have made a similar comment.
Some have. Some those who do so and say maybe misguided over it. Yes, because of course there was a debate over free researchers. Quite some people may hold some strong opinions. But in the main, most of us agree that it should be one of the best things Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo came out with. Ordinarily, they would think that this is a liberal government and it may be even considered conservative. That is elitist. They used to say so. Now, if that is what they thought our government was, the government came up with such a policy, a social service, a good policy that will help the poor. And yet the Social Democrat was against it. If they say they are not against it, let's live with it.
I see.
If they say they don't agree, let them take a decision over it. Unless they were deceiving the Ghanaian public. Unless they consider that free research is good. Unless they say, like they have been telling people, that they will review it because they will do other things to make it better. Let's see.
I see. They'll make it better. So let's see. Chairman, we are just wrapping up. So just look into this camera and finally speak to Ghanaians and then your supporters.
Yes, Faga.
Just speak to Ghanaians.
Yes. We consider it unfortunate that the election went the way it did. From our own perspective, I will ask my fellow party members that's the verdict of Ghana and Ghanaians, the electorate. Let's live by it. That is not the end of the road. Hopefully, within 4 years, maybe we will learn a lot more lessons. Maybe we were not in touch with the reality. Maybe we were running ahead of time. Maybe we were living ahead of our time. Maybe our policies were wrong. Maybe we were not handling the government well. Whatever it is, let's give ourselves a little more time. Let's soberly reflect on it. But let's keep together. Because after all, whatever we came out with, whatever we decided to do, whatever the Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo was doing, we thought was in the best interest of the country. But the people decide. And if they have decided, so be it. Let us reorganize ourselves. Let's look at whatever it is that Ghanaians want. After we've reorganized ourselves, we should put our best foot forward and leave the rest to Ghana and God Almighty. May God continue to bless our party and bless the whole country and its people. Thank you very much.
And that's the former national chairman of the governing NPP, Freddie Wasimel-Blay, and also currently he's the board chair of GNPC.
I'm about to leave.
I'm going board chair of GNPC. My name is Kwesi Parker Wilson. This has been the agenda on Oyerepa TV. Have a good morning.
Abusiafo Kwesi Parker Wilson ene owura Freddie Wasimel-Blay ene kwotwetwe nkomo no don hwe ba ko ntamu nie yasan ababiem na yasan konkran ho abiem said the meeting kan aka chem say paka edru Accra International Conference Center ho dada be ene parliament no omko bia no bio omo ekotena afie bufuo ne menko ne mempene ne saa ne o manenti omo nyina akoy obi akoy ne campaign ya to aba na wie ene se so omko government business na eto so as usual na kwesi wa homa ne so a wo twa de ekoso won kran hwa no pai bi ehunfoni ede amaye kwesi ma che
yeah, me so and the anope me Jesus hoye de.
Nyame adom na wo so
me hoye pa fe na ma fe.
Me so ma fe papa se bibia boko de.
Nyame adom bibia edidedin na opa eye in time na o chai ya. Parliament e betena se. E wo Accra International Conference Center. E ho e no betena se. Na ora wo tina me no kasa. Na we no kasa. After na two number channel, omoye arrangement. After na omoye nhihye. After na omo pack for ya. It looks like omoye program bi ho. It's after na omo omoye set up no.
Okay.
It's members of parliament today. Do na member do ye. Me no ka say. Sisia na me hu ye MP ba ko. If is an outgoing MP. And in the 9th parliament room, on the hobby. Malagre, member of parliament. Edma Asman Robija. Sa. Also, she in that country with it, or and down of the trouble. Now, a quick one. Parliament, there's almost 10 o'clock. 9. I found almost 30 up a year conference center. You know, almost 10 o'clock. It's at 10 o'clock. So, it's the official time. Right. So, at least for one reason or the other, people, delay in chat. So, time, certain for but whatever it is. And I call you we are all here. You can see colleague MPs. I'm car park the very quiet. Car park the very end. Oh, you gave parliament for first, and that's how we normally have done. Pick it up slowly, so I think I know that definitely are going to meet today. Right now, one quick question I can point in our episode, and then over to majority side and over to minority side. Many more colleagues on the ethnicity caucus and what is the arrangement? Well, that's rests with leadership, and I can look as you see a caucus meeting. I can't speak to the very issue unless I go to post. Now, what do you expect? I mean, court in the Rulevi. Court in Rulevi. I don't say court in Rulevi. Rulevi nearby, and I'm saying, but I can say, CCI, the guy, also we ready to a two and the ember days. I see. Now, what should this parliament, that is 8th parliament, or why you empty room? Are you particularly happy with you going to acquire all this 8th parliament? I'm not happy. I was thinking, with the hang nature of parliament, at least, I know, let's send a signal to Ghanaians, if they have like a checks on the government. But unfortunately, and my old are not all subtract. Now, if you're quite normal course, it wasn't the best. Honestly, it wasn't the best. And Parliament, we came here not to ground, but to use our brains. So I don't, only go and maybe available not that I was also just to copy me. This wasn't the best shape, but I think this Parliament there were prosperity of issue. But personally, I'm not a Jew, so I wasn't happy about it. I wasn't happy. You're not proud to candidate 8th parliament? I'm proud to candidate 8th parliament, but the flip side, the other side, is important. Any prayer, no matter who trying to more, no go however Korean could be. They can't, young Korean and American ones. But so far, so good. I think so. Now, finally, for me, the 12 and most side of the house, you've suffered a hefty blow. In fact, Margaret Potter, because some of your mini minority. How do you feel about it? Even over the 9th parliament, how do you feel about it? I'm not the least surprised about it. You're not the least surprised? I'm not the least surprised. Because let me tell you one thing. Because some of them, sorry, I hear about it. Who remove your kind? Who say, Papa, remove your kind and swing in the who say, mini minority. I wasn't expecting such a humiliation. But then I knew said you are no support. And then now who you tell them which are for you. I did it. Don't push me too much. No, I'm not pushing you, but it's a direct question. What you say ever? Who say ever? Then now who say all that I was saying is
I am my phone or say the psychology of the electric.
Right.
So, but I think Ghana for the attention and my overwhelming a victory, true. And also, and I would say, a funny bench, chairman, you may be I buy no, saying no, thank I know a put checks on I may have a manage the situation. Now, yeah, very careful. At the end of the day, we try to meet situation of the people. That's a woman is an interest. But I think that I know I'm going to say that they buy.
I'm
I saw it. I saw this. I'm cancer. Media, you have the kind of old man. I mean, that's all. It's all come. I saw it coming. That's how you lost the party 2 years ago.
You lost the party
2 years ago, but it got manifested in the election.
I see.
But my worry is about the humiliating, abysmal of but in also, this is a lesson. You have to go back to the drawing board and organize a regroup and come back. And I think if we do that, definitely the will give us a mandate.
Do you think that based on the outcome on this election, December 7th, and then Ukochimbanuma or somebody in Brem wants to send a day in Kopobikano, send a bell, say, because right now, even though the 8th parliament here, so, I mean, Mario Potter one.
Again, I read that we are said, okay, I can put whatever it is, I keep telling you, sir, election, it indicates the victor as well as the vanquish.
Right.
So fine. Yeah, vanquish, you have to go back to the drawing board, go back to the and sit down and analyze the whole issue. Then at least every brand here, on every group here, on here. Do
you expect a stop back conduct to say, yeah? But I'm not saying
okay, everyone matters. Two back conduct. No, you see, I didn't see it. I by a court. You are my leader, a court. A court on a court. Court, my reason. Leader was there to what? Make sure that the ruling was so what they did now, at the end of the day, I wish I never get quite the end. At the end of the day, that's all baby. That's all baby. Now, Nakaka, at the end, at 8 parliament. Because parliament here start here, I didn't talk about start here. We should lead, lead it, or we should lead, or as you know, on a clean note. But to see some big back and pieces of it. But the good news is that we're on a level. We're on a level. We're on a level. Which is not the electricity we have a call. So I'm buying government business crack. Because I also make sure say we have business to talk about we should have on account and other so also if you can with you and you have to look at those.
Okay. Now, the last one we MP was sent to you. The concern is that MPs are more sent to you with the Asante Gambo, and common trouble. So they deserve an apology. Some apologize to you. Because my show you neglected them. Almost 5 interchanges, one from and all of that.
The constituency as long as we just 10 kilometers of a year. The core about there 4 or 5 years. Take just 10 kilometers in a room to work in it. Take just 10 kilometers. I'm telling you. And then maybe I am a conductor and then
I say mafia.
I won't say mafia, but I mean, not that you are Gambras. Besides the 10 kilometers, it's not one more, one more mega, or more. I have like 10 kilometers of food. See, 10 kilometers of room in Nantu, area.
For how many years?
For about 5 years.
For 5 years,
I'm telling you, 10 kilometers of road. I can show you the area time. Because I know I can be. Because in kilometers. Also, constituency will go. May Ufi constituency, you Ufi Araoka, Uber Fakara constituency. No, and Bantamania
and they are to
now quite a so consistency. Ubaka could do Pokukum, ye good coach like a camp Pokukum. They do Pokukum, Pochabu Kuma, who at home just out. All kinds of so and yet, I put to Junior. What do you tell you?
I see. Honorable, Medasi, and the Anope, that is the Emmanuel address, or your MP, or Achuma, Ubija, North constituency, and I will make you point. And if you are, so I'm meeting time, Kano, Uba Parliament, there. I feel no more system, Kuya, a year MP, or more car park, I empty. But one key thing, I don't know, I say, and then Parliament bar, the minority, and the majority, as I make the NPC caucus. And the NDG caucus in a better one. Not say if you are also Mutran or Matran. Sen honorable kind of the top navy. It's your contribute the trick because MP and the majority pay the decision of the court. Now, ND the minority. And he's open to say, Omoba quickly, no. Omoba minority side make a ND for no. Now say ND before the majority side. But you know, when in some cost of the conference center. Then again, I mean, a year police force, system number do. In fact, Kasi, parade to get their people in position. If you also call normal buying, the various centers, and also constitutional. These are some of the things. Them are from the area remove back almost parliament. I can the chamber, the parliament itself, as of Sunday. I want to move back. Say, Nancy, Accra International Conference Center, that is AICC. Maybe a year citizen of the cost of. Now, key things that what agenda and also need kind a year. The preparation go for the next 3 months. A year January to March next year. Then a bear Jomama Bar, Obekimi, Enya, Tikakasa, the Bumaino, and basically because at the end of every year, the preparation for the next 3 months. Into Jomama, we expect him there. So almost when he no Babemwa on somewhere March ending. April, baby, all the kind of budget and no, and the so they are continuing for the rest of the year. But the 3 months here, and then an immediate or say parliament, they are probably a man. Then again, they are tax waivers, Kaka, or say parliament, so a sign a share. Any loans here, Abba, also almost discuss it. So these are some of the agenda. What board knows so, and there many are expecting the parliament bar. Almost by any kama. Now say, we are also at their home.
I see. Kwesi, obi baby sasade na akohie ntia. Ene Accra International Conference Center no mu kohie. Questions anipa bebre bisa na obi bisa sa emuaye be na ade bema no.
Yeah, the issue is that currently Parliament now money at 275. There's been an additional seat, which is 276 now, and that is one constituency. It's the only year changes the chamber name, the Parliament chamber in itself already are. You name that and I am now. Only year changes Takanda the other or a year inside her. And Nutina Akoban say, I was members of Parliament, every free a year chamber name. Now I say Omako a year the Grand Arena of Conference Center. Now Omako a year of Juma. Jubisamia, not near no. Okay. What we say rehabilitation. Making sure the seats are properly arranged. You know, the after the election, no, or say rearrangement on the eve of 7 January, which is the 6th January, Parliament, in the new MP elect for the 9th Parliament.
I see. Ohwe conference center wa sabra afia ye hihye nkonwa dia na say ye bewie no ebi at 10 am 11 am ho baabi na ahokeka etisan wo ho MPs ni bi aba se de wo hu ye ranhwiri ebi no mo the other side ni nso bi aba na aba ohwe atmosphere ne tesen so far.
Very simple. Making me cannot take you with members of Parliament and do number because there's a video I sent of a car park. So if MPs are around, I'll be the car park. I am a casting the baby can park it now, and the over MPs park now, car park now. Oh, yeah, very empty, super empty. Cars back could be and the assistive. it tells you the MPs like I said, and of course one can understand, especially from the MPP side, looking at the outcome of December 7 election year. One can understand the reason they are not moved to one empire. Although I'm a chair, on the caucus meeting and then on the caucus meeting and then I'll pay and some of the but 10 o'clock lady, many social media. Normally, it give or take by 10:30, 11. That time, and MPs, meeting after because then I meet him. Him and now met him and I got I feel now, you and your Manama Kakra. Now, one of the MPs that was shocking the whole Ghana, a member of parliament. I then one term. He has managed to get 2 terms for Adenta constituency. When I say, the MP for Adenta constituency, Honorable Adamu Ramadan, and they are paid. If I say, no, Patricia, Honorable they mean that to travel my Honorable or live on TV or party. How do you feel so when you election? How do you feel?
Well, it's humbling.
It's humbling?
It's humbling.
I mean, for you now, not for the see there. Maybe I will be losing this election because I then said the constituency. One term. What the money for you?
Well, I think that on paper it appears 1 term, but for constituency no more. Your friends identify.
Yeah.
Anytime I win identity, you want to come down. Anytime I win, see that the struggle to go past the line. In 2005, people win here, say up to less than 1,000 votes, I win here. 2016, I'm winning for the second time. I'm the best 1,300 and win here. But they do a winning 2004 or the 3,000 plus. Ashmo air winning in 2012 or the bear close to 5,000 air winning. In 2020, I'm winning a difference of 14,000. In this election, a difference of over 21,000. It's fairly an indication.
No, so we win this election because I mean your contender give you a very tough contest. I mean, your campaign the other day.
My contender was very active on social media. Social media now all share engaging mood and they should have won the elections on social media. Me, social media person. I'm a man of very few words.
Of course. I don't say I'm a man of very few words. But anyway, and the parliament is smart. Check and 2 months if I'm right. 2 months I'm going breaking the check and move and this before. Are you going to sit at the minority side?
Maybe I am paying for better here.
The one casano then out.
I mean, so we're together as a caucus, right? But we are paying for better here.
Even when you know say you're not and you're right, that's still before.
It's a caucus. What the caucus decides, what I'll go along with. I'm not a renegade. I'm not a standalone. I belong to a caucus. So your caucus in the can end anyway.
Then a caucus naka.
I mean, we're yet to meet this morning and very bishop.
I'm not a caucus in the bishop. And we'll take a decision. Exactly. Well, they can say, I mean, of course, more we need absolute majority. Our next parliament. Jabian can be the book. I'm what time I know it was. It's something I'm a casa at off from mom.
I mean, if the Sana air caucus position, I'll go along with it.
No, but for you, I mean, if I'm for casa at off from mom. As an MD for them, as an individual
decision, I'll go along with it. But I really and truly, I mean, the caucus maybe that is so young got to be a friend and maybe at least I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. After all, it will just be a week's sitting, and then after that, we're going back to
our absolute majority. The thing about absolute majority, you don't think so? Because now you have more than, I think, 188 to almost 190.
I don't think so. Yeah, Dogana too much. You won't do that. You won't do that.
Honorable, but that's the yeah. That is the data. Oh, and this year, who a first member of parliament. What's the number of in Kasa? Third floor. What's the number in Kasa? That is the first MP. Indeed, yeah, it appears that gradually, MPs back. And both of them mean I say almost caucus meeting and then a short on the page. The caucus meeting, I want to be decided what they have to do, especially with the minority for another NDP caucus. They are baby young back to their original position as a minority. And I say very instituted the other majority until the speaker speaks. It's you're showing when you bet ma ahwefo so ato.
I see. Kwesi moni adwuma se afa na adwuma nankasa ebefi ase se de omo afi ase omo eba maako no meji di se ebrebe ko nanim be don hwe ba ko mienu bi no na wanya nipa dodo no a me de wo de meji udi meji di so obekiri bebredi agu ahoma so de aba na afi wodi di nkomo wa cheche elections ye de ye em so first time awakọ nkran enie ni efi wo ba ewo general space ni mo nso ya no wodi di nkomo ne ya wa me ate se de nyoma esi ekobi nyame nka ho nyame nka ho yeda ase papa yeda ase ebusanfo kwesi pakabo sen na mote ne nka efri parliament ne omo tena ase bio ne mum gwan constituency na yenya aka ho ninti ne e wo se de one seat eka parliament no nkonwa ho eno ho adwuma na omo eye ya enam so ama omo de akọ Accra International Conference Center e ho no mo na no pay parliament no omo ekodi ehia ne mum nyame adme free da e be swai omo kọ ne de omo nyina be ko back to omo old efie ana omo dan dada no mo na omo akwakohia akoye ye behwe se de no ma be onfodi na ye de ho amane ye de abremo ye de musia na ya sore so na ya makwan ama sometime oto champion any sports crew no e de mo cruise e de ato aso nyame ya domo a e kina ye besan ahia bio mi di de Akua Asieduaa no pa bi ni nua be ma ato Ebo Biney na e besom mo nyame ya domo a e kina da fofo da mu nyina ase e ma good morning.